Be authentically you. 'Cause now is your season to live out your reason. Just be you. How you gonna leave your imprint on this world? Be authentically you. 'Cause now is your season to live out your reason. Just be you. How you gonna leave your imprint on this world?
Right. Welcome to another Authentically You Imprint Spotlight Show. Welcome, 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 everyone.
Yep, here we are again. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Listen, we've been having a good time doing these interviews. It's new to us. You know, we're working on our first year.
Yes.
In this, but we're so excited. We got some great people.
We have spotlighted some wonderful people, and that is that's the foundation of what we do here on the Imprint Show. We find people who are out there in their communities, on their streets, in their blocks, doing some wonderful things, and mainstream media would never really pick them up. But we want to spotlight these people here on the Imprint Show because everybody at some point in their lives leave an imprint in this world. And we want to see how it is that you leave your imprint.
Yeah, I think we're doing better than MSNBC.
I think we are.
And CNN.
I think we are.
We hitting it out there, girl.
We getting some fantastic people on our show.
Yeah, we're getting some good people.
Absolutely.
I hope they don't be jealous and try to steal our people.
I know, right?
And be doing like interviews with our people.
And listen, if they end up doing that, that is wonderful. More exposure, the better. So we want to introduce to you tonight one of those fantastic people. We're going to bring to the show Destiny A.J. Johnson. Let's get her on. Let's get her in. Hi.
Hi, Miss Chris. Hi, Mr. Andy.
Hey, welcome to our show.
Welcome, Destiny.
Thank you.
We're going to call you Destiny. I might slip up and say Mandy.
That's fine.
A few times, but
yeah, no.
Yeah, see, her name is Destiny A.J. Johnson, aka Mandy to us.
Right.
Awesome. Just thinking about your name, Destiny. That's a powerful name. It's a powerful name. Has that really driven you throughout your life? I mean, you're so young, but yet you have done so many things. You've been in so many places. You have accomplished a great amount of things. So has Destiny, the name, has that been a catalyst for you?
So that's really interesting because I didn't go by Destiny for the longest time. Mm-hmm. I was always Amanda, Mandy. And it's only about 8-9 years ago that people started referring to me as Destiny, and that's because I was in grad school. And I remember my first week or so, my professor was like, "Okay, Destiny, I want you to answer a question," and it didn't resonate with me. And then my friend was like, "Ma'am, it's you."
Right.
So it took me a minute because it was either Amanda, Mandy, my other middle name, Jamila. I didn't get Destiny very often, but over the last 8 to 9 years, I can see when I look at my journey, my walk over the last few years, I can see Destiny, definitely. Absolutely. I definitely see Destiny in everything that has happened to me, good or bad.
Right.
I've definitely seen Destiny. I've definitely seen the hand of God.
Amen.
Well, that just goes to show you names have meaning.
They do have meaning.
And it has purpose. So all your life you set Destiny aside.
I did.
Which is what we often do.
Yeah, how about that?
We live out our lives not knowing who we really are.
Mm-hmm.
But all the time, that's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
From birth, you were named Destiny.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But
Amazing.
you didn't use it. So like other things and like Christ does all of us,
mm-hmm.
he has plans for us. And it's not until circumstances meet destiny
Mm-hmm.
that we realize that we're on our path to destiny. So That is a literal change of name to change your path.
Exactly.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that the professor, whether he knew it or not, was prophetic.
Probably, because that really did change me, and it was so funny.
Yeah. So listen, tell us, a little bit about who you are and how you landed here in Maryland.
So I'm from Cameroon, born and raised in Cameroon. It's in Africa, shares borders with Nigeria. And I studied there, so did everything over there. Then I decided to pursue, to go to grad school and to do a master's in international law. At that point, I started scouring around for schools, and then at that point, I decided to go to Costa Rica. And that's where I pursued my master's in international law. Eventually, I started doing internships. I went to Europe. I did internships for a little bit. I did some conferences over here in the US. So I was sort of kind of back and forth. And eventually I realized after I went back home, and I tried to do some work over there. And a few things happened, and I was like, okay, maybe it is better for me to be outside. And at that point, I moved to the US, and really started my journey here. It was scary because it was unplanned. Yeah. I would say it was completely unplanned, and I was coming here by myself. I wasn't sure. I mean, I definitely wasn't sure I was doing the right thing. I didn't know how to start over, but I was like, okay, it is what it is. I remember my best friend telling me, you have two options. You either make it or make it.
Okay. I like that. I like it.
So at that point, I was like, okay, I just have to power through this phase. I felt really felt like Moses. So I was like, this is a whole new land.
Wow.
Like, what am I even going to do? I really did. But God has been faithful.
Yes.
It's been a journey. I have really grown through it. And yeah, so I started my life here, and ever since I've been in the Maryland. I came to Maryland, and I've been here ever since. So it's been about 5, I would say anywhere between 5 and 6 years.
Wow. Okay.
Beautiful. Got to say, we in Maryland are the better for you.
We are definitely the better.
So we thank you. We thank you, Africa, for not allowing her to make it there. And sending her here to us.
Yes. Such a value add.
That's quite a journey. It's difficult enough for people within the United States or other countries that you're in to even maneuver within your own country. But to leave everything you know and everything you're familiar with.
And take a journey on your own.
And take a journey on your own into a new land.
It's commendable.
It's definitely commendable, and it definitely says a lot about the path that you're taking in your just your enthusiasm and your the fact that you're not letting any grass grow under your feet.
I know, right?
Thank you.
In your studies and everything that you're doing, we thank you for joining us here in Maryland.
I'm glad I'm here.
So listen, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
What is it that inspires passion? That thing that keeps us from thinking that we know it all, but instead makes us say, I have to know more. What is it that makes us keep trying after we've fallen time and time again? It's the thing that makes us smile after we finally figured it out. When what used to be difficult is now second nature. It's the joy of knowing our hard work was not in vain, but instead has made us better as people. It's the beauty of learning.
Welcome back. We are having a conversation with Destiny A.J. Johnson today, and it is a phenomenal conversation so far. For such a young person, I mean, just such a young lady, you have accomplished so many things. So let's talk a little bit about your accomplishments. Now, first of all, let me pause and say that this show airs in 175 countries.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the information that you're going to share has a broad reach. All right. So the exposure is going to be phenomenal. Right.
Amazing.
I want people to hear and to meet you in all 175 countries.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So you got your bachelor's of law in 2012?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. And then you went to Costa Rica and, Master of Arts in International Law and Human Rights in 2014.
Yes.
I love it. Now, I am over on her website. The website is www.JUNNServices.com. That's JUNN Services.com. And I want you to go over there to all of our viewing and listening audience. I want you to go over there and check out her website. And that's where I'm reading from right now. But you eventually moved to the United States where you currently, I love this part, you currently work for the District Court of Maryland as a court clerk specialized in the expungement of criminal records. Talk about that for a few minutes.
So that is very interesting work. It is very interesting work I do. I consider myself the mortician of the courthouse.
Oh, wow.
because I only deal with closed files.
Ah, okay.
After it's gone to court and after the attorneys have done everything they have to do, and I literally have to bring a dead file back to life.
Wow.
Wow.
And so it is an interesting journey. You get to meet, you get to give people a second chance.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
And that's a real blessing. I feel so honored and humbled that I'm able to do that for people every single day. We get at least anywhere between 300 to 600 expungements a month. So it's a lot of cases, it's a lot of lives, and I get to tell them, yes, you can move forward. Yes, you can get that job. Yes, you can get that apartment. Don't worry, we can help you expunge this record. Of course, there's certain limitations here and there in certain cases that do not qualify for an expungement. But for the most part, people comply. And if the verdict went a certain way, then they are able to expunge that case. And if it didn't work, if the verdict was not in their favor, I would have that opportunity to tell them, okay, you have X amount of years to file a reconsideration and go before a judge again and get the charges dropped, and you can come right back. So it just amazes me how I'm able to give people a second chance in life. And I'm really humbled by that.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, just to be able to give a person a second chance, to be able to wipe away some of the past, some of the negativity of their past.
Exactly.
And set them on a good path for their future. That is God's work right there. Yes. I believe that is straight from God, to be able, that's what he did for us.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing that you would use that name Destiny.
Yes.
It's changing other people's lives. I can imagine people who have suffered through all kinds of things because they've made mistakes in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not knowing where to go, and all of a sudden they get this call. This is Destiny call. and bam, their life changes. They have no idea. They have no idea that even working in the courthouse,
mm-hmm.
That your belief in God and belief in restoration,
yes,
and God being able to give us a second chance is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely, not many people in this life get to do what you do.
Exactly.
And get to bring so much joy to people and to give literally
Yeah.
Give people back their lives.
Yeah.
That is totally amazing.
It's admirable. It's admirable.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to read this sentence from your website. Well, first of all, the website is JUNN, JUNN Services. Is that an acronym for something?
Yes, so it's an acronym for my grandfather's name. He is a great inspiration to me, at least he was. My mom and her sister spent their whole lives making sure we, the grandchildren, know this man. So he really inspired them. The stories really inspired me, so I went off his name. His name was Johnson Umaru G. Nzimbie. So I went off his name to be able to come up with JUNN Services.
I love that.
Wow,
I love that. Even the name of your business is significant, and it's meaningful, and it's tied to family, tied to the legacy, tied to future, tied to hope. I love that. I love how you do things so very, very intentional. That's very encouraging. Very encouraging.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, so the sentence says that we are dedicated to helping motivated minorities and international students navigate the journey of getting into graduate school in the United States. So tell us how did you get to this place where this company, this business was formed?
Okay, so that really started off a long time ago, I would say, because I myself was an international student. When I left Cameroon in 2013 to go pursue my master's, I was in a completely new country. But also, I wasn't the only person. There were people from over 50 different countries.
Right.
But prior to even getting to grad school, there was a process. The process of applying, and you have to submit some kind of writing sample. Now, I would say, like, we are not taught, in my country, we're not taught to write.
Okay.
We're taught to do exams and multiple choice questions and structural essays, which are really brief.
Right.
But writing a long paper, 2-3 pages, we're not given any specific techniques on how to do that.
Okay.
I consider myself blessed because my mother is a former journalist. So she made writing a big deal for me.
It's amazing.
I wasn't given I didn't have an option.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to write.
Yeah.
And she would review everything I wrote. So my writing got better over time, but it was still not as good as hers anyway.
Yeah.
And she would always say, you have to improve your vocabulary and this and that. So when I came up with the idea of JUNN Services, it was because I know what people struggle with.
Right.
I know that so many people are not like me. They didn't have a mom who could look over their papers and be like, okay, you can tweak this here, tweak this there.
Right.
They don't have anybody, and they're just doing the best that they can. Now, in Cameroon, on top of the fact that we're not taught to write, we're also English and French speaking.
Right.
So you have someone who's French speaking trying to come to the US, trying to write a paper to submit to grad school, and he's thinking in French and writing in English, and it is just not consistent.
Right.
What they're thinking is not what they're saying.
Exactly.
So I really, really have a heart for people like that. And at that point, so when I came up with this idea, that's where it stirred up from. It was that being that middle person, being able to show someone that, okay, do what you can, and I will help you proofread just as my mom did for me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. That is so wonderful.
That's totally amazing. That is totally amazing. Out of all the things that you're doing and doing yourself, you're reaching back out.
Exactly.
And taking your time to help more people.
And that's a big heart right there, to be able to understand the plight and the challenges that you had, and to see that you were blessed, in having your mom who would teach you how to do it, and then realize I have so many people of mine that's coming behind me who are going to struggle. Let me do what I can to help them. That is admirable. I tell you, I probably used that word several times tonight. Admirable, because
it's amazing.
It's amazing, and I'm thoroughly impressed with your heart for people. I really, really am. So tell us, okay, we're going to take another really short break, commercial, and we'll be right back.
Life can be hectic and sometimes overwhelming, but I know that my loved ones need me, the best version of me. That's why it's important for me to take time to sit with my thoughts and clear my mind. Because before I can care for anyone else, I have to care for myself. Self-care is essential.
So welcome back. Here we are. Listen. I hope that your friends are tuning in Cameroon. You see the great things that Destiny is doing here, and the hesitation that some would have to strike out and do something new, whether you're in Africa or whatever part of the globe you're from. You can make it.
You can do it.
You can definitely make it. You can do it. You have ideas, you have dreams, and you would never ever fulfill it until you make that one step.
That one decision.
And it's much like Destiny did. You know, she made the step, but she wasn't living to her potential because she felt that her other names described her better than the name she's using now. And once she began to step out and do the things that she was doing, she realized that she was on a path to destiny. With all the things she do and studying law and all these type of things, there's so much that you could have done with your degrees. There's so many avenues of law that you could have went into, especially here in America, and just make tons of money. You know. But you went right into helping people.
Right into helping people.
Right into helping people and creating a whole new you along with that.
Right.
And then from that and continue your education, you decide to start your own arm, which is still the same thing, helping people, leading people to their destiny. Destiny given destiny.
I love it. I love it. So you are currently in school now at George Washington School of Law?
Yes.
Awesome. And you're in the business and finance law, okay?
Yes.
Great. Yes. It's got so much going on. I love it. And working a full-time job and running a lucrative business. I love that. So tell us about the services that JUNN Services provide.
So primarily, JUNN Services is for international students to help them write their personal statements, or at least edit and restructure and give suggestions on their personal statements, on their resumes. But some of our additional services include like Q&A sessions for international students who already have a legal background in their countries and are trying to come into the United States and assimilate themselves in the legal system here. So we can be that bridge for them, tell them how they can go about it. It's a journey I'm currently walking, so I wouldn't be speaking from the top of my head. I would be speaking out of experience. And I have friends who also came from Cameroon and are now practicing attorneys.
Excellent.
So it's a process I understand, but also some people may not want to go to grad school. All they want is a cover letter or a writing sample for a job or an internship or a volunteer opportunity. So we're able to review those as well.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is totally amazing. Listen, if you're looking and you are wondering how you was going to get this done, you know, you started out like Destiny did, You got your education, now you're trying to deal with the cultural differences.
Yeah.
And trying to get it there, and you have no one to help you because you're about to make a journey all by yourself.
You don't have to do it.
And maybe you don't have family here, you don't have the assistance, or don't have anybody that's even dealing with the law in this country. You have no idea. You was just about to waste your degree because you were thinking of doing something totally different just to get here. Well, there's hope. And there's destiny. Look. You can see it. You can see it up on the screen now. You can reach out.
Yes.
You can reach out right
Just
now,
go to the
and
website.
they will provide the services that you need in order for you to make the move that you need. So now you're not hindered. Now you have all the opportunity in the world because you have an ally.
Absolutely. And this sentence right here from the website is potent and powerful for any person who is sitting watching us or listening to us who has that question mark still in their mind about whether or not this is even feasible for them, or if it's too much work for them to do to get here. Let me read you this sentence. To ensure that you get the tailored help that you need to succeed, our diverse and multicultural team of editors from Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, and North America will meticulously proofread each statement of purpose and or resume submitted by each prospective international student. Listen, the team here at JUNN Services, they're sitting, they're waiting, they're ready to assist you, meticulously assist you, personalized, tailored assist you. So it's not like they're going to give you some blanket statement. No, they're going to talk to you individually and personally and help you to get into grad school here in the States.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So Destiny, tell us about your team.
So my team, these are really amazing people, and we all met at work.
Wow.
So we're all court clerks, and we do different things. We handle different kinds of cases. But when I was preparing for law school, I started working on my law school application last year before COVID. And I knew I was applying for this year, but I'm a planner like that. So I'm like, okay, I have to start putting something together, putting my personal statement, especially the personal statement. My George Washington required 2 to 3 pages. And I am more or less a perfectionist, so I knew I was going to be reading this thing over at least 100 times.
Yeah.
So I'm on this journey, and I'm excited. And I tell them about it. The people on my team, I tell them, like, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm finally decided. And they're like, okay. So I'm writing. I write my paper, and I'm like, okay, just take a look. And they have so many comments. And I'm like, wait, I'm a pretty good writer. Like, how do you have so many comments? And it became a game. So one person would read and pass it on to the next and pass it on to the next. And by the time I was submitting my law school application, I remember having that feeling of being complete. I was like, this is exactly what I want to tell the admission panel.
Excellent.
Exactly what I want to tell them. And I'm a good writer, but I could not have done it without them.
Yes.
I always tell them that me going to George Washington, I give all the glory to God, but I'm mostly grateful that He led me to a team, to people like them who were able to put a second and a third and a fourth eye on my paper and were able to help me get to the school of my dreams. So at that point, when I decided to pursue JUNN Services, I was like, no, there's no one better than you guys. So I was like, okay, do you mind joining me? Can we do this together? But the beautiful thing about it is they all have a heart for this. They want to see people do better with writing. They want to enable, some people are from Africa like me. Others are from Latin America. They understand what it means to be foreign and to have to do stuff here, to think differently. Right. And even those who are from here, they understand that people are from different cultures. People don't process things the same way. They want to be that bridge. So it's not just doing stuff, it's actually coming from the heart. Yeah. And I'm really grateful for them.
Wow, this is amazing.
It's beautiful.
If the world looked like your team.
No, what a better place
right now with the attitude of your team and how you guys got together, we would be living in a utopia.
We sure would.
because it is great. But I like what you said. You said, all glory be to God. Listen, God doesn't mind if you get the praise as long as he gets the glory.
Absolutely.
And people deserve praise for what they do. And this is amazing that this team comes together. So for you out there that's thinking nobody should be praising or getting anything, all glory does go to God. It does. God don't mind sharing his praise with you. Matter of fact, God will praise you. But his glory will not be touched. It's all about him and him touching people's heart in the time when we're needed the most and bringing people together. We call that destiny. And once again, it's all about when it happens for you, it's only going to be when circumstances meet destiny.
Exactly. Yeah.
When circumstances meet destiny, it's always a bang. It's always a thunderstorm. It's always going to be rocking your world, because destiny has a lot to do with who God made us and what he made us for. And a lot of us spend our life trying to figure that out. You're so fortunate because you're living it. You're living it. You're helping people, and you get to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, you're being creative and being creative, and then furthering your education to be even better at what you're doing. This is absolutely great.
Exactly. And that is critically important that you educate yourself in your passion.
Yes.
So you do all the due diligence, and you gain as much information and intellect as you can, so that you can be the best servant that you can be.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, and you have a fantastic team that's doing just that.
Yes.
Wow, that is so amazing, so absolutely amazing. So to that student that's out there in another country that's listening to us now, encourage them to take that step.
So I'm just going to tell that student that it is totally possible and doable for you to go to the school of your dreams, to go to do the program you want. It could be law, it could be medicine, it could be human resources, whatever it is, you are able to attain that goal. If you don't know how to write, if you feel that you're not confident, that's what we're there for. It's not all about the money, it's about helping you get to where you want to get to. I would not have been where I'm at today if I didn't have a mom like my mom. And I even wouldn't be in George Washington today if I didn't have people help me get there. It's impossible to do it without people. So we're here. To that student, I'm telling you, we're here for you. To that person who's looking for a job and you're not confident about your cover letter, to that person who's trying to go to apply for something and you need some kind of motivation letter, we are here for you. We're here to support you. We're here to give you ideas, to give you suggestions, review your work, and help you get to the next level.
Wow, that is totally amazing. I've talked to many people from different lands, especially people that come here from Africa, Ethiopia, and all these places who, well, most of the time when I'm talking to them, I'm surprised most of the time, I'm surprised that when they tell me of their level of education and the degrees they have obtained prior to getting here, but then for some reason or some circumstances, they choose to do something else because maybe it's been overwhelming for them to get acclimated to the system. So they take other jobs and they get comfortable in those jobs, and they just don't have that push to say, wait a minute, let me not waste the degree that I have. I always had a dream to come here, and I wanted to go to Harvard. I always had a dream. And when I came here, I was thinking about Harvard. I was thinking about all these institutions that I wanted to attend, and then life happened. So I set this aside, and now I'm doing this, and I would like to do this, but the road is just so difficult. Well, now you have help, and you understand that it can be done. And nothing has to be wasted simply because you change locations. You know, education is education. And the time that you put into, a lot of them have master's degrees. Masters mean you put in over 10,000 hours at something.
Yeah, you definitely put in a lot of hours.
You jumped on the plane and you got here within 24 hours. You let 24 hours blow 10,000 hours simply because once you landed, the fear hit. The lack of understanding or that barrier that you just could not cross, and you let life happen, and now you're here. It's good to know. So even if you're here in America and you have felt that you were, you know, you had to give up your dream, now you know you don't.
You don't have to.
You have help to cross those barriers.
Absolutely. And you know that little piece right there that you provide each prospective international student with a 30-minute Q&A consult with Zoom. So it's not like, you know, to me, when you see people face to face, you give them a certain level of comfort. They know that you're real. You make this experience more tangible for them. You know, so I think that the whole concept is just magnificent. So for every student who's out there, JUNNServices.com. www.JUNNServices.com is who you need to contact because your dreams are attainable.
This is America, the place where dreams happen. People come because they dream. Don't get it twisted. Yes, a lot of stuff going on in America right now, but the foundation of America is this. You know, this bringing your gifts to America and making them work. We're all from somewhere. We're all from somewhere and from somewhere else. Why not make your dream work and take what you learned at home and come here and make it work for you?
Exactly.
Really make it work for you. For whatever reason, maybe it didn't work in your country. Maybe you got frustrated, whatever case may be. And then you dreamed of coming to America. You let a 24-hour trip blow years and years of education because of fear. Step out. Step out and do it because you are the one that make America great.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial and we will be right back.
It's exciting. It's zesty. Purify and protect with our new lemon head-to-toe routine. The subtle, crisp fragrance instantly makes you feel clean. Guess I'll just keep using lemons for my water until my order gets here. Our new lemon range is available now.
All right, welcome back.
Here we are.
Welcome back. We are here talking to Destiny Johnson from JUNNServices.com about the wonderful services that her company provides to international students who want to come to the States to do their undergrad. And one of the things that I also noticed on your website is that you're able to help. You can be a resource for prospective students seeking outside sources of scholarships and loan opportunities available to international students. That is monumental. Talk about that.
So that was a game changer for me. Like I said, so JUNN Services is not just, it's been on my heart from the time I was in grad school several years ago, but more so when I was working towards my own law school process. And I was like, oh my God, there are so many scholarships. Why does nobody ever speak about these? Yes, the school offers you scholarship opportunities.
Right.
But there's so many outside sources. I never hear that. All I ever hear is you whatever the school gives you, you can take it. I'm like, okay, that's great, but there must be sources outside. So I was doing the research. And what if you don't qualify for the scholarship? What if for some reason, for whatever reason, your status or the country you're from, because those things are very, very, they're very detailed and tailored to a certain group of people.
Correct.
Now, I have very little, I get very little from my school. I don't have family. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have enough money to go to school. What do? I guess I just have to put my dream to the side. But God is so, so interesting, because in the course of doing my research, I realized international students can take loans too.
Right.
Something I never knew. I thought it was only limited to people who are in the United States. So my friends and I started doing research, and we're like, why does nobody ever talk about this? Because you get those people who, and I've seen those people, I've met those people who were in school and the parents were paying the tuition and something happened, maybe a parent died, and that's it, and they feel like their life is over. And nobody told them about this opportunity. They tried getting a scholarship from the school, maybe it didn't work because they didn't have a GPA, but they want to pursue their dream. And that's the end. They can't do anything because now they can't go to school, they don't have the money. So I thought that was a great resource. I felt that was a great resource to know that you have options. If it doesn't work out, scholarships are great, grants are great, but if it doesn't work out, you have options. There's an option for you who's an international student. You can pursue your dream no matter what, whether you have the money available, readily available, or or something happens to a parent, you can pursue your dream.
Wow.
I think that is so powerful. That just that little tidbit of information is so powerful. I mean, it brings the opportunity back to the international student. They say, yes, I can still do this. And I think what is a very pivotal thing that you said is that as you were going through the process, you were doing all the research.
Yes.
You were finding out things that you had no clue about. And now what JUNN Services is ready to do is to help that other student coming behind you, to not have to go through it blindly.
Exactly.
I love that.
So they get the benefit.
They get the benefit
of all your hard work. And all your
save time.
Everything that you suffer through now they have an opportunity to have a helping hand at it and don't have to start from scratch.
Don't have to start from scratch.
And that is amazing to know that, especially as you say, being here by yourself, with not a lot of family and everything here, then a lot of people are in the same situation. Or whether you have family here or not and don't have the knowledge there and don't have the know-how, doesn't make a difference. But when you get the know-how, you see somebody that's doing it and it has that is actually doing it, and then writing a roadmap as you go. I mean, again,
it's wonderful.
Again, destiny.
Absolutely. So we are all about, and that we includes you because we know you. We're all about hearing the voice of God and walking in your God-given calling and purpose. So as we're talking about your making this journey here by yourself, you know, God's hand was in that the entire time. He has brought you here and has connected you to people who are like family to you now. You know,
Exactly.
like maintain your connection to your family in Cameroon. There are people that, you know, the person that connected us to you, Mary Beasley, you know, is a phenomenal resource for you.
Yes.
You know, so for that person who is watching and listening, you know, talk about what that means to you and how you see JUNN Services fitting into the greater scheme of things in God's plan and how He brought you here, and how they don't have to be afraid of launching out into the deep.
So I would say really, so it's been an experience for me. I really became destiny over the last few years. I saw and experienced the hand of God in so many ways. Coming here at, I think I was 24, 25. I mean, I did go to school. I had my master's, but I was still so immature. And I barely had any confidence in myself. Brain-wise, I was like, okay, that I'm on point. But how do I navigate life by myself? And on top of it, I'm an only child.
Wow.
So I'm used to referring to my mom for, well, not to say everything, most things, but it's probably everything. So it was really hard. But I've always had a heart for other people. I've always had a heart for making sure that I have an impact on someone else's life. From a very young age, as I mentioned earlier, my mom made sure I wrote. She would always tell me journal and read a book. And so she taught me very early to play with words.
Yeah, that's good.
Very, very early to play with words. She's like, words are a good thing. Words can make people. Words can break people. And I went to boarding school when I was in Cameroon. So it was a Baptist school. And that's where I really got to experience God and grow in my faith and my walk in God. And I realized the power of words. And I'm like, God is all about words.
Amen.
Today, I know I'm going to be, in a few years, I will be a lawyer. But it's not just about to me at least, it's not just about making big bucks and taking people to court. It's mostly, how do I teach people to play with words? Because you can use words to win a case, and the wrong words could make you lose an entire case.
Yes, absolutely.
So to me, it's this journey, this new phase, this transition is for me to learn the art of using words, the art of communicating effectively, because you can be the smartest person in the room, and if you don't know how to communicate, then it's pointless.
Exactly.
Right.
You can also not be smart, but you know what to say, when to say, how to say it, and your message goes right across. So to me, it's really impacting people, showing people that words are beautiful. Writing is beautiful. I want when I read your paper, and I give you ideas, and I give you suggestions on how to restructure that paper, I also want you to see not just an already restructured paper, but to be able to see that, oh my God, this is different.
Right.
This is different. How do I do this? How do I teach someone else to do this? Because I want people to be touched by how I teach them to write, by how I choose to play with words. And I believe that my faith, my walk with God has also really taught me that, because He has been really gracious towards me. I am surrounded by people, friends and family, and even newer family like you and the Beasleys, people who believe that words have power.
Absolutely.
And words can, you can just, if I was able to walk this walk, and today I'm in law school and I'm looking forward to so many opportunities, it's because people spoke positivity into my life. People spoke light. People did not, and when I fell down, when I was downplaying myself, it would tell me, you are amazing. You can do this. You are the smartest person in the room. My best friend, she's a physician. And I remember I would call her and I'm like, oh, I can't do this. And she would remind me of everything I have already done. And I'm like, how do you even remember these things? She's like, that's not the point. What I'm trying to tell you is you can. So I know the power of words. I'm blessed to be able to put words on paper. And I want to be able to impact lives through that.
Very good. Wow.
That is totally amazing. Listen,
you are such a wise young lady.
Thank you.
Listen, from words, the whole earth was framed.
Exactly.
And the Bible tells us that there's power of life and death in our tongue, words. As we use words with one another, we got to be careful because, as she said, words can build up and words can tear down. Most of the time, it's the word that tears down the most is not the word that somebody else speak to us, but the words we speak to ourselves. I can't. You know, I can't do this. I can't do that. You can do all things that you choose to do and set your mind to do. As you say, there are some people, it makes no difference how intelligent you are. You know, if you can't articulate your intelligence. And it makes no difference how unintelligent you are if you learn the power of words to, you know, they say it's better to be thought of fool and then to open your mouth and remove all doubt about it.
Right.
You know, again, words play a pivotal part of our life. Words mean everything. And at the end of our life, the words spoken about our life means everything. But the main thing is the words that God spoke about us.
Exactly.
Yes.
And believe it or not, no matter how you do, we believe in God's majesty, and we believe that from the beginning of time, we were created by God. We were created by God. And the first word spoken to us that identifies us with God is our names. You would be surprised. You would be surprised that God is not surprised about your name because he knew you from the very foundation of the world. From the very foundation of the world, he knew Andy. From the very foundation of the world, he knew that this young lady would have to be named Destiny because who I called her to be. So unbeknownst to mom and unbeknownst to dad, God spoke those words to them and they said it out loud. And here we are right now in a whole other country. This many years later, and words come to fruition.
It is coming to manifestation.
You know, what has God said about you?
Yes, to the listeners.
And more importantly, what have you said about yourself?
Yes.
Are you continually saying that you can't? If you say you can't, then guess what? You can't.
You'll prove yourself right.
Because you'll do everything in the world to prove yourself right. Why don't you be wrong about it?
Change your
and
talk.
believe that
Change
you
your
can.
speech.
Change what you speak. Change what you say. If you have a dream, it's important how you articulate that dream, even to yourself. Speak to yourself. Speak life. You know?
Absolutely. And, you know, as you were talking about the importance of words, and you so eloquently spoke it, you know, and it just reminded me, I have to go over to my website and read you just a little bit of a quote from my book that's on my website. It's much like a song to a singer and music to a dancer. writing is to me. It is liberating. It's therapeutic and healing. It's creative. It is expressive. It is enabling. It is revealing yet safe and secure. It allows for constructive planned structure while free-flowing so as to encompass the disjointed. You have thoroughly inspired me, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Chris.
Thoroughly inspired me. This has been one of the best, I tell you. Our spotlights get better and better and better. Love them.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to say that in my entire journey, I have learned to entirely depend on God, but to also see that God truly uses people. And as much as I am the brain behind JUNN Services, as much as I came up with the idea, I had it in me many, many years ago. Not only would I give credit to my team for supporting me through this, but mostly I remember there's a friend I met in December of 2020. And I remember telling him about this idea, but it was so theoretical to me. And I was like, okay, I will do this. And he kept saying his favorite phrase is, what's the worst that can happen? Do it. And I'm like, but I don't think, but, and he's like, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Just do it. And I'm very theoretical. He's very practical, but that was so encouraging to me. And some of the personal statements and cover letters and writing samples that I reviewed were all people that he knew. And he was like, hey, I know someone, they need this. Why don't you take a look? And I'm like, I've sent it. So he didn't really give me a break. He didn't really give me time to like, maybe I don't think I can. Yeah. But with every paper that I reviewed, I noticed I only got better. And I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I know I'm good, but I didn't think I was that good.
Right.
So I definitely believe in the power of having a great support system.
Yes.
Positive people around you, people who believe. Sometimes you won't believe in yourself because life is what it is, and you're not seeing your potential to the full extent possible. But God puts those people around you who see that potential, who see that you're a great person, who see that you're destiny. Yes. And they're like, okay, they just give you the right amount of push, the right amount of encouragement, and you're able to go on your own to the next level.
Absolutely. I absolutely love it.
That is wonderful. So
I love it.
What can happen if you do it?
Right.
You just do it. I'll tell you what will happen if you don't do it.
Okay.
If you don't do it, you will never, ever know.
That's right. That's right.
Success
only can come if you take that risk.
So why don't
take that chance?
Why don't you do it? And the worst thing that can happen to you is that you have a testimony that you tried it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No one will ever be able to say, I did not try it. If you try it and just do it. So what's the worst that can happen?
That's right.
Maybe the worst that can happen is you become so good at it and so successful at it that you change the world.
How great is that?
And how great is that? But if you don't do it, you would never know.
You would never know.
Wow.
This has been one fantastic spotlight. It has been our pleasure to shine the light on you, Miss Destiny Johnson.
Thank you, Miss Chris. Thank you, Miss Andy.
Phenomenal young lady.
Destiny A.J. Johnson, a.k.a. Mandy.
Yes.
You will come to know. I know that you're going to do great things. I'm super, super proud of you.
Thank you.
Pray for you that you will continue to follow the path that God has got you on, and that you will always say yes to Him. There's nothing but success in that.
Thank you.
Listen, this has been, before we leave, we want to give you parting words. If you want to say anything, any final words to our viewing audience.
I just want to encourage everyone and to say that JUNN Services. Our website is www.junnservices, JUNN services.com. We're here for you. We're here to help you journey, to help you get to the next level. I would not be where I'm at today if I didn't have people to support me. So I truly believe in the power of people. I truly believe in the power of leading people to their destinies and supporting them. Everyone needs a support system. We're here for you. So check out our website at www.junnservices.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this spotlight. Thank you for allowing us to spotlight you today. So listen, this concludes our segment for today. And listen, as we always say, continue to make this your season to live out your reason.
Listen, be authentically you.
And the question on the table is, how will you leave your imprint in this world? Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll catch you next week right here on the Imprint Show.
See you next week.